Good morning, my friends. So we're ready to start, but we need 4 retweets. Van Morrison, Astral Weeks, first time ever listening to it. Get me those 4 retweets and we'll get her done, okay? See you on the other side. Hey everyone, looks like we just did it. How are you feeling? Did you enjoy your weekend? I hope this finds you well. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever this may find you. Welcome to another week of Old Man Listens. We got an incredible week of music this week. Like, this is going to be one of our big weeks as far as I'm concerned. Let me show you what we're going to do. Obviously, today, here's what we're doing. Obviously, today we're doing Van Morrison Astral Weeks. It is the first time I ever listened to this record. I've never heard it before, and as far as I know, there are no singles on it, or maybe one or something, so that's probably going to mean I don't know it at all. Then Kanye West. Again, no idea what to expect. And then, finally, on Friday, the one I'm probably looking most forward to, Billie Eilish. I wasn't even sure. We put it on Friday just to be certain. The record came out last Friday, but I didn't receive my record. And I wasn't sure if I was going to have the vinyl in time in order to have it for Friday. But it turns out I received a message today. It's being delivered. It'll be in-house tomorrow. So we'll have the Billie Eilish record in plenty of time to watch it together, listen to it together. I mean, I know that some of you have already heard the record, but if you haven't, do yourself a favor and wait. Let's listen to the damn thing together when Friday comes around. I plan to be ready for it, you know. And we do have other records that will be played also. We're certainly not going to run out of content. See, Fruity says that I'm going to love Kanye. We'll see. It'll be an interesting episode. I certainly will have shit to say, but I listen to, everything basically as an anthropologist. The way it is that I approach this thing is always to provide my, what I tell people what my preconceptions are about the record, and then I listen to it together with you guys, and the preconceptions are smashed once you actually listen to it yourself, right? And by creating an experience where we're listening to the thing together, then it's obviously more memorable than just pressing play on a Spotify list or something like that, you know? The fun part about this Van Morrison also is that it's Warner Brothers, so we're not going to get tossed off. You don't have to worry. YouTubers will be on. What should I expect? When was this record released? Okay, well, the title wasn't put up. Unfortunately, Poland's computer kind of like crashed. So we got to replace the title, but we will. So, what shall I talk about with the preamble? What can you possibly talk about with the preamble when it comes to a Van Morrison thing? Besides, I think the most obvious argument, I guess, or the most obvious statements that wind up being made when you find out that some of your favorite musicians behind some of your favorite albums are deplorable human beings. I mean, Van Morrison's a deplorable human being. I mean, he's a fucking imbecile. So, as are a lot of people, but you have to be able to separate the art from the person. You have to. Okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, art is the best expression of humanity. So even the ugly parts of who we are as human beings come out being very powerful if put in art. You can take ugly stuff and put it in art and create something impactful and beautiful, something positive. So there's a lot of forgiving when you have to deal with a lot of artists. Jerry Lee Lewis and Pete Townsend, who's a complete dirtbag too, and Roger Waters, who's a dirtbag, and Ted Nugent, who's a fucking mouth breather. Morrissey, Van Morrison, there's a whole bunch, right? But now, generally speaking, when it's a new musician and I know ahead of time that the new musician is a dirtbag, I tend to want to listen to it less. Because it's like I already know what they are beforehand. Yeah, Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton's a shit stain. Okay? Because I know about, like, if I know the music first, then it's a different thing because you've connected with the music, right? You've connected with the music, you've built already a bond with what you're listening to, and then you find out that the person that made the music is a shit stain. It's a completely different thing. But what happens when you already know ahead of time that the musician's a shit stain? It kind of tends to change it. You know? And, yeah, Van Morrison is kind of one of those things. So, yeah, Kanye is going to be an interesting listen. There's no doubt Kanye is going to be an interesting listen. So will Van Morrison. Now, I think that I'm mostly capable of splitting the two. Keeping the artist and the person separate. I think I'm pretty good at that. So I'm pretty certain I can tell you, I think Kanye West is a fucking dipshit. A dipshit. I'm pretty sure that I can take that out of the equation. You know? Maz is a twat. He's a complete shit stain. But, I mean, what do? You stop listening to your Smiths record that you grew up and that made you happy? You know what I'm saying to you? So, it's art. In other words, am I going to have trouble with this piece of art knowing what I know about Van Morrison? I think not. Well, if you voted for Kanye 2020, you're a fucking idiot. I'm not going to get into that, though. Because if I start getting into that, Kanye's a fucking puppet. He was used as a pawn and it worked. Proof is that you voted for him. It was nothing more but a shitty strategy. Right from the beginning. So will I have trouble? Will any of this interfere with me liking the record? I don't think so. Okay, yeah, we gotta not talk about this fucking Kanye 2020, please. Okay? It's just... That's exactly why I don't want to talk about it, because then we talk about the other shit stain. We start getting into fucking people that should be dead. You know? I think that's the probably the most difficult thing. You don't need to be sorry. Besides, you know that I'm a grumpy guy. That sometimes is the most difficult thing. Just what to talk about. What happens when the person and their character and their persona and their public image and all the rest of this overshadows often the music itself. And it really does cause you to ask yourself a question. It's like, is it really overshadowing? When you're talking about Van Morrison, I mean, how can you overshadow his work? You see, for me, I have Moondance now. I didn't have Moondance. We listened to Moondance a while ago. And the one that I keep going back to is Weed and Fleece. Now, I received Weed and Fleece as a promo. And I didn't expect to listen to it or any of this. I didn't expect to like it or anything. But the fact is that I absolutely loved Weed and Fleece. Like, I loved it as much as I could possibly love a record. Side 1 of Weed and Fleece is one of those records that I play side 1. I can play it like 3 times in a row. It's like, okay, yeah, I understand the whole record and everything, but side 1 to me is a perfect side of music. It puts me in a really happy mood. It's the kind of record that, I mean, I've been... when my wife comes down for coffee and we chat or something like that, I mean, I remember having conversations over Weed and Fleece where it's just like, I kept playing the same side like 3 times kind of thing, you know? Did Joe respond to the listening party? What Mother's Milk is referring to is that Joe, the singer of Idols, was saying that it's his favorite album of all time and that he would love to be a part of the broadcast. I didn't ask the management. I didn't put in a request. They're off doing their thing. I don't want to be a star fucker. I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's just... I'm sure that the Idols team, and I'm sure that Joe, they are. I mean, they're friends of the show. On the other hand, they got to their thing, and I don't expect to see them, you know, all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, the last thing I wanted to do is kind of put, I don't know, make somebody feel like, oh, well, you know, you said you were going to show up, and then you don't show up. I don't, you know, they're off doing their thing, man. Fruity Lovecraft, I agree with you 1000%. The best thing about art is it allows us to transcend our human flaws, even if for a moment, yes. So you can take raw, unadulterated anger and put it into a song, and that song will be raw and all undiluted and angry and aggressive. But it's harmless, isn't it? It's a song. I mean, unless the ideologies expressed in the song are hurtful, then it's a different thing. But you know what I'm trying to say. Okay? And I mean, that's always been my argument for heavy metal. That's always been my argument for moshing. That's always been my arguing for all of this, because I think every human being needs a valve. I mean, every human being needs somewhere to let off steam. And I think that music is one of the safest places to do that. You know? Do you guys think I'm going to like it? I think I'm going to like it. I'm just going to wait for Polam to get onto our thing here so that we can change the title. I guess we're pretty much ready to go soon. I mean, I don't have anything big to talk about. Or at least not yet. What, you want to talk about my fucking diet? I'm not on a diet. I'm old and I'm trying to get healthy. See, David says that the album has a special quality. It's like magic was captured. Yeah, I know. And artists, there are some artists, man, that just, they capture a special moment. And when it's done, it's a beautiful thing. I think for any of us, if your worst action or moment was broadcast, it is what we would be judged for no regard for the good things we do. Yeah, you're right, dude. Campbell's 100% right on that. Okay? And that needs to be taken into consideration also. I mean, you're responsible for your words, but the thing is that these people are public figures and they're out there all the time. So missteps, the thing is if you own your misstep, though, it's a different thing. Okay, and this is something that I can relate to very much personally because, I mean, today is, 508 straight shows, right? I've said a lot of stuff. I have. I'm pretty certain that I didn't say anything that's absolutely repugnant because I don't have that in my heart. But I am also certain that with those hundreds of hours, if somebody wanted to, and if somebody willed that, and that's what their agenda was, I think it's pretty easy to take all of the broadcasts that I've done and pull out this snippet and that snippet and create a narrative which paints me in a very bad light. And I expect that that's the kind of shit that's going to happen to me later. And that's where it is that you need to that you need to approach things like that in exactly the manner that Campbell says. I come on here and and I'm talking about musicians or whatever, and I do a show and I talk so much during this time. And if I get it wrong, then I admit that I get it wrong. To me, that's the most important part. Okay? If you get it wrong and you listen to it and you say, I got it wrong. Or even if you just acknowledge, hey, listen, it could be taken this way. This is not the way I meant it. You got to be willing to do all of that. You have to be willing to own your words. You have to. Okay? And the reason it is that I know for myself that I'll always be able to own my words is because there's no hatred in my words. None. So anybody that tries to make me out to be this or that, fuck you. I know what I got in my heart. You take things and you're doing things for whatever reason, So a lot of times you have to realize that if you spend a lot of time, you're going to fuck up. What it is that I like about this record, what it is that intrigues me about listening to Astral Weeks, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Guys, you guys know this more than me, okay? But my understanding is that there are no singles on it. So I'm not going to find brown-eyed girl on it. What's that? La 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 la. That's not going to be on it. I know that And It Stoned Me, which wasn't a huge single, but a song I like a lot, isn't on this record. It's on Moon It's on Moon Dance. Okay, so T-Buck says maybe one, and the song is Sweet Thing. Look, I'm not even gonna check what the singles are. I'm just gonna listen to the record, and like always, I'll say, oh, I know this and I don't. Now, the thing that really makes me happy about listening to this, as just a fan of my sweet spot when it comes to music is 65 to 75. All music created between that time just excites me. Worldwide, it was an exciting time. I like the sounds. I really like music that came out during that time. It's not just an American thing, all over. But American music and British music very much. But American music very, very much, But if you look at just music just across, Psych existed everywhere. Fucking krautrock started. Acid rock. There's a whole lot of things. But there's one thing that happened a lot during this time, which makes it so that these records mean a lot to me. This was the age, 1968, when this record came out, this was the age of the long player. Okay? This is the age where artists started paying attention not to the single, they started paying attention to the entire album and treating an album like a whole. So you're getting a story. Okay? Prior to this, the way you sold a record is you sold the singles. And the singles are the ones that sold this many million copies. And then you try to get a million, if another couple million sold on this one. And what you wind up doing is they wound up, singles. Why? Because radio. The fact that you could have a radio in your car now made it so that you could listen to this stuff. Then all of a sudden, stereos, personal stereos, were in pickup form. You can take these little portable stereos with stretchable speakers, and you don't need to buy the big furniture, which is the way they used to sell a lot of this stuff, right? I mean, the very first gramophones, some of the very first gramophones were made by furniture companies. So when you look at a company, for example, like Paramount Records, before Paramount became Paramount Records, they were a furniture company. And the reason that they used to sell this type of stuff is to sell furniture. And a lot of the times you'll see when it is that they were trying to sell new technologies or when they were trying to sell turntables and stuff like that, they always tried to sell. It was always about moving the units as well. And if we sell the units, then it'll make people buy more records. But we need to put the units. It's kind of like selling an Xbox console or that kind of thing. Once you sell the console, you have them. Okay? So, once teenagers came into the picture, and once they could buy affordable stereos that they can put in their room, that they can save up money, mow lawns, put their stereo in their room rather than in the living room, right? Because in the living room, it was the big fucking bureau, correct? So how does that change something? Well, the big bureau is not something that a kid can put in his bedroom or her bedroom. So immediately, when you're listening to music, it became the family experience because the stereo was in the family room. Parents have been against new music since the beginning of time. Old generations have always called new generations more corrupt. It's been happening since it's been happening since the Greeks. It's been happening since forever, since the days of Plato. Okay? So, and it'll always happen. Old people talk about how the music was in the good old days. Old people talk about how the music now is disgusting, all the rest of this. The reason I'm pointing all of this out is because obviously it makes it so that young kids listening to music, their own thing, won't listen to it around their parents. They can't listen to some stuff because it's not allowed, because it's no good, because a whole bunch of things. Devil's music, every reason in the world. Okay? Now, what happens when you can do a portable stereo? Now, all of a sudden, the teenager can play his or her records inside his own room or her room. That changes the buying habits completely. Completely. Because now all those records that they can't listen to around their parents because their parents are going to say something, they can take them and they have their stereo in their own room and they can play those rock and roll singles and all the rest of this. They can do all of that and play it in their own rooms. So all of a sudden it creates a certain teenage freedom through music. And obviously you know that teenagers and music go hand in hand. We've been there, right? What also happens? A lot of the people that bought music were kids, teenagers. Kids don't have a lot of money. Kids can't afford stuff. So you got to make shit affordable. So selling records, selling singles made a whole lot more sense. The radio was put towards it. The radio was there to push the single. The stereos were there to make it so that you have a place to buy the single, and then you push like crazy to sell the single so that the kids buy it and they play it in their rooms, and you got the whole thing, okay? Now, this is the way it was for a long time during the course of recorded music, during the course of stereos, okay? What happens in the 60s? People start paying attention to albums more. Yeah, getting your friends around to listen to music in your bedroom, getting the fucking music, playing the stereo in the garage and then jamming. A completely different aesthetic. Completely, right? But listening to music like, David says his first album was an 8-track of Kiss Destroyer and he had to play it on his parents' system. That couldn't have been fun. It's exactly it. But if you take that same situation and you take that Kiss album and you listen to it in your room, you're having the time of your life. It's a completely different experience, right? Now, albums, during the 60s, during the 70s, the album experience started coming more. So it wasn't just about selling singles. The long player started becoming important. And once it is that you stop focusing on the singles, and you saw it with the Beatles, right? The Beatles went from Yeah, Yeah, Yeah and Driving My Car to the White Album, to Revolver. A concept all around. Now what happens now is instead of having the space of 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes, under 3 minutes, right? Thank you, Reeves. I hope you're enjoying the stories. God bless you. If you guys want a tip, use this as a link, okay? I mean, I certainly appreciate your tip, Roger. I really do. But, fuck YouTube. Google takes 30% of what you left, and I know that you want it to go to the show, so fuck that. This way, use the link. It comes directly to us, and your name shows up on our screen. But thank you, Robert Reeves. Cinzano Bianco. Very nice. I prefer Cinzano Rosso, però. I'm definitely familiar with Cinzano. I'm a fan of Cinzano. On ice, but I like the red. With a slice of lemon. So albums come into the picture. What it is that it does is it increases the canvas. Right? Now you have these sides. You can put 15 to 18 minutes per side. I mean, yeah, sure, you can stretch it, and it has been stretched to over 30 minutes per side. But for the most part, 15 to 17 is the sweet spot. And you got two sides to do it. So you got 35, 40 minutes to play with in music. And you can see that the art changes during this time. All of a sudden, one song fits into another. There's a story being told. The album has 2 chapters. Chapter 1, side 1, chapter 2, side 2. And there's not just a matter of putting a bunch of collection of songs. And that is what you saw a lot more in the 50s. Just a collection of songs. You look at Elvis Presley, collection of songs. Okay, this single sold millions, this single sold millions, this single, let's put it all together. Okay? I mean, jazz is kind of exempt from that, but jazz people bought records, you know? But just in rock and roll, all of a sudden the album started getting consideration. FM radio, especially in the late 60s, early 70s, started gaining traction. So what we wound up seeing is that the music itself changed. The music went to keep it under 3 minutes to now we can stretch out. We can play a 7-minute song. We can play a 10-minute song. And even if we don't choose to play a 7-minute song or a 10-minute song, what we can do is we can take 5 songs or 6 songs and put them on one side and let one song go into another so that there's a flow there. So there was a certain amount of thought now that wasn't there prior. The thought is about the album. How do you present the whole thing as a work of art? The whole thing as a whole, not as a collection of singles. Not as a collection of, it's got this hit song, that hit song, but the whole thing. Now you're selling an album. Okay? And that changed the game. It did. And you see it in music. And you started seeing that mostly in the late 60s, mid-60s, but late 60s is really when it is that you started seeing it. And you really started seeing it in the early 70s. Like, you really started. So Pink Floyd's started coming out. Even the Doors start releasing these long songs like The End. You know, all this stuff. And that's one of the things I think that excites me most about listening to this. This is one of the experiences that I'm looking most forward to with having with Astral Weeks. The record was released in 1968, so I'm expecting a full album experience. And it's within my favorite period of music. So 68 is when shit got really hippy-dippy. Drugs started entering the whole thing. Woodstock. All of this. The kids started going to the festivals. Festivals changed the music a lot. Festivals created long form. Festivals created event. Rather than Let's go see this. You know, everything was always about the short shot. See the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. See Elvis Presley. You know what I mean? And it was always that, and it was always the single. Now, all of a sudden, it became about selling albums. And those albums fueled tours. And the gig economy was completely different, because once upon a time, what bands would do is they would release the album and then they would tour incessantly. And the whole idea was that by touring and being out there and playing the songs live, they could sell more records. And that's where they made their income, their records, the record sales. Record sales didn't fucking exist at all. Yeah, sure, concerts and community centers is another topic altogether. But yes, absolutely. San Francisco, for example, the whole Haight-Ashbury, definitely what you're saying is there. It's not what I'm talking about, though. Okay? But once upon a time, albums would release, and artists would go out and heavily tour and promote the album so that you can go buy the record off the back of the tour. Now, the albums ain't worth shit because artists aren't making shit. You gotta fucking sell. You gotta stream millions upon millions upon millions in order to earn any type of decent income in order to make it as an artist. So making the music, making the art, making the album isn't nearly as important. And what winds up happening in this case is that the artists aren't making money on the art, they're not making money on the, on the album anymore. That's not where the money is, because you're getting paid fractions of a penny per spin, per play, per song. Now, the income is merch. The income is the concert ticket. That's why concert tickets cost more, because that's what the band needs to do in order to make their nut. Now, the money is in the merch. You buy the concert ticket. That's where the money is for the artist. The money is not making a ton. The artist isn't making a ton of money on the records anymore. If they make the money on the records, what they're doing is they're making the money on merch. If the record's available at the merch table, but the concerts now are the ones that are the big money makers, not the records. So that's kind of changed. Happy to see all of you enjoying the preamble. I mean, I talk about various things, you know. I've certainly thought about this stuff a whole lot. Now, there's also something else that I should say is that I'm no historian. I don't study this stuff. So, what it is that I do here is more to talk about this stuff, but to share with you. We're having a conversation. So if I get something wrong, and I'll get things wrong all the time because I can't memorize everything, then you guys are there to add in your little bits. And if I forget something, you guys are in there to add your little bits. And it makes the discussion that we have about music much more powerful. You understand? It's a qualitative experience. We're hanging out and we're considering the music. We're talking about music. We are put in a zone of appreciating art. When we chat here in Vinyl Junkies, we're not chatting about events that are current events or any of that. As a matter of fact, if anything, I'm fairly strict on the policy of it's just don't be talking to me about any of that, because it's just we don't want it to go off the rails. It's not because somebody's trying to take away your right to talk about whatever you want. It's because we all know where the trouble starts. And we're coming here to get away from all of that, no matter what side of whatever you were from. We come here and we talk about music and we focus about music, and it winds up being a very positive experience. You know? And I'm glad to do it with you. Do you enjoy what we do? You'll notice that our patron count dropped as it does every first of the month. We got to get that shit right back up, and we will. Oh, believe me, we will. This happens every single month, so it's not like it's new, you know? If you enjoy what we're doing, then support what we're doing. Become a patron. Go join us for as little as $2 or $5 a month. The conversation here, everybody that you see talking, all patrons. Not ASMR. ASMR never became a patron. I did invite you, though, ASMR. But everyone's a patron. So, I mean, you can listen to the show for free, but the fact is that the conversation is really where it's at, and the community is where it's at. You guys do recognize the same names because you show up. $2 a month, $5 a month, it's not a lot for community. And it allows us to be completely independent. It allows me to be the last motherfucking DJ. I play what I want, I say what I want. Nobody is my boss. You're my boss. $2 a month in order to meet my boss. Try to tell me what to do, though, and see how I answer the boss. So let's get our numbers back up, and we will. Trust me. I know disco. But I do need a drum roll to get us up to date, because what happens during the first 4 days of each month is that we get a massive drop on the first of the month, and then payments go through and we start getting jumps, and then at about the 4th of the month, that's like, okay, here's where it is that we got to start our climb. Okay? So we're at 609. Let's see where we're at right now. Give me a drum roll, poem, sir. Cut! That's the sound of the gun going bang bang. Yeah! And so we're close. Let's fucking hammer that 666. Let's get to 777, and you know we will. We know we will. All patrons, you are welcome to join us on our Zoom chat. There's 5 of us here presently. Sometimes we're up to like fucking 15, 20 people here. It's a lot of fun. It's a way for us to connect on another level. And patrons also, all of you should know that as I'm getting to know all of you, we are creating a special event. One of the things that's brought us all together is gingivitis, COVID. The virus broadcast and why you guys know me is a lot of the time because of gingivitis. Us hanging out together basically is getting through it, you know? And I've been saying since the very beginning that community matters, and when you build community and when you go through some shit together, it bonds you in a way that you don't forget. But you got to go through shit with people. You have to have experiences with people in order to have that bond. And, I mean, 508 straight days of this COVID nightmare, we haven't been off a single day. We've gone through some shit together. We've gotten to know each other. And I've promised since the very beginning, when all of this is over, no one obviously knew it would take the time that it takes. We didn't know anything back then. But when all of this is over, we're going to meet in San Francisco. Well, that's going to happen, as many of you know. And you can legit get excited because it's going to be an amazing weekend. If you're a patron, doesn't matter what level, you are welcome to join us in San Francisco, March 4th to 7th. We're going to have a Vinyl Junkies get-together. Yeah, we're all going to hang out together. And I promise we're not going to have trouble getting a crowd. I said that I was going to go as long as me and Nelson are there. I didn't care who else, but a bunch of people are showing up. And we're preparing for that. We're going to make sure that we give you the time of your life. We're going to go record shopping together. We're going to prepare a party. And right now we're in the middle of booking an entire floor of rooms just for us. Why? Because we don't want to worry about noise complaints. We don't want to worry about anything. We want to go there and we want to have fun. We want to go there and just have a party. Does that mean we're going to get into fucking cocaine and throw televisions out the window? No, dude. We're going to be respectful of our space. We are. Okay? Mischief isn't what we're looking for. We're just looking to have some fun, though. And so, on March 4th to 7th, I'm coming over to San Francisco. Nelson will be there. Polam will be there. And a bunch of you will be there. And we'll spend a weekend together because We've gone through some shit together. And from there will be other trips. There will be a trip to Montreal, my hometown here. We're going to do a weekend here. I don't remember who it is that I'd mentioned, but I should come to the UK. You're on. No, I'm speaking for you too. If you fucking cause trouble in the hotel, I'm going to throw you off the fucking floor. I'll send the guy up and say, throw this motherfucker out. Fucking gazebo. You're a pain in the ass. So yeah, UK is going to happen. Will it happen UK? The only difference it'll happen, a Europe trip is happening. I don't know if it's going to happen in the UK proper or if we plan, because Europe is all so close and like you can go anywhere by train. Maybe what we're going to do is plan a weekend in Amsterdam or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and besides, when I go to the UK, where should I go? I mean, is London what we're going to do? Should I go to Manchester? Where should I be? You know? We'll find a place. But it will happen. So it turns out I got a lot to say after all. Here I was worried that I'd have nothing to say for the preamble. How about sexy times on this trip? What you do in your bedroom that you know, is absolutely up to you. As long as there's consent. Simple as that. We're all adults. Consent. That's it. There will be no fucking raping under my watch. I don't want stupid people to show up. People who can't handle their fucking alcohol and become complete dicks. I'm not interested in having that. I'm interested in hanging out with people who chill and want to have a good time. You want to get drunk? Sure, you can get drunk. No problem. If you can't handle your alcohol, you're an asshole. No thanks, man. Fuck off. You know what I mean? So there you go. Big news. I told you that this community means everything to me. So Cool Olds says she wishes, because Cool Olds doesn't have... She's a patron. And she's a good patron. She hangs out. I love having you here, Olds. I mean that, and I think you know that. But won't have the funds to come to San Francisco, so she can't travel. Okay, well, that doesn't mean we might not come to you. Mind you, the idea of traveling to Florida doesn't really... I don't know if I want to go to Florida. Like, keep me the fuck away. But I will be checking out a lot of places. A lot of places in the States. Definitely. You know? Texas? I'll be in Texas at some point. I have to. I want to go visit Austin. I want to see what it is. Nashville? I got to visit Nashville. It has to happen. It has to. Lovecraft asks about Minneapolis. Minneapolis is 1,000% going to happen. Uma and Molesty live in Minnesota, and they're some of my favorite people. So yeah, definitely we're going to be going to Minneapolis. That's going to happen. Chicago, I would count on that. I would. I mean, I'm not sure about a big party, but I can tell you at some point I'm gonna head off to New York. You know why? Because my buddy Tiong was there. Me and Tiong are gonna go there, and it's just the dude lives in the fucking Bronx. The dude's old school. He's gonna show me all the fucking dirt. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Jake Wynn, why would I avoid Minneapolis in February? For the cold. I live in Canada. I live in fucking Canada. We got good times ahead. You guys can feel comfortable getting to know each other. You can feel comfortable seeing the names. Okay? And saying, you know what? I like this person in the chat. It's going to be really fucking cool to hang out together. Léon, I live in Quebec. Moron. T'es un esti d'épais, toi, Just à Montréal. Fuckface. Where do you fucking live? A Gaspésie? Moi, là, je suis Gaspésien. Juste dans la région de Lac-Saint-Jean. These Frenchmans. Montreal's going to happen. You can move from whatever fucking town you live in Quebec. You get in your car and you show up. It's going to happen. Should I be shrooming for this album? I'm not shrooming for this album. Should I be shrooming for this album? Okay, I'll shroom for some. I'll shroom for this album. Are you guys enjoying the talk? Look, I try to make the preamble interesting, and I'm still working on my craft. So I figure I'm only going to get better as we go along. To me, what it is that my hope is with this kind of thing is that you guys, you see the same names. You see all the same names that you get to know each other for it. You get to know each other, you become friends. So that you know who to talk to when we're talking about music. You understand? And over here, there's no factions. This faction against that. None of that. Because the minute that shit starts happening in this room, I throw you out. I don't want that. It's about doing things, togetherness, happy. Who likes the that sound that you make there, the ODST? Do you know that? We're gonna record the sound of San Panacchio eating a mushroom cap. Here, look. All right. This is the special I did. It's not a whole thing. The stem's missing, but it's a cap, and the caps are supposed to be stronger. This is a golden teacher. And we're going to eat them. You understand? This is what the cool kids call ODST. You understand? Poland's making fun of me. He's like, dude, this is exactly the way you're going to lose the audience. I don't give a fuck if I lose the audience. Don't you know that already? If you like what we do, become a patron. Agua Gnostica. That's exactly what this is about. Natural drug use. I don't get high to party. I get high to feel good. Smoking pot does my head good. Taking mushrooms, I've realized it does me good. You come back when you start the music. You can't handle all the negative vibes. Critique. I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to block you immediately, you fuckface. I don't give a shit what you like. You're in my room, not vice versa. Can you throw this fuckface out? You can't handle the negative vibe. The negative vibe now is you. What negative vibe? You're the only one talking about negative vibe. Go fuck yourself. Fucking clown. Here I am talking about how everybody's a family and how we're getting together, and this guy talks about a negative vibe. Dude, you're the negative vibe over here. That's why we gotta throw you out. Straight up. You're a fucking drag to be around. Do you understand that? Have you been told that before? You are. These fucking idiots. I hate dealing with stupid people. Like, I really do. Well, of course I'm gonna do it. What do you think? Where the fuck is he? Let's get rid of this clown ass. There you go, critique. Bye. See? So you're right. You come back for the music. Because you can't deal with the negative. So what we did is we followed your advice. We blocked you because we don't feel like dealing with the negative. And I would like to tell you that you're a fucking dipshit. Because if you're here for the music, all you got to do is put on Spotify right now. On the reason it is that you come here specifically for the community, specifically for the conversation. That's the secret sauce here. You're a fucking imbecile if you're saying that the reason you come back is for the music, which you can listen to immediately. And then at the same breath, you say that you don't like the negativity. Why are you here? Did you lose your way? Is Spotify really difficult to find? Why are you here? Do you understand why I block guys like you? Because you're imbeciles. Because this is the first time I listen to music, and I don't want to be around people like you. Who wants to... The guy... You know when it is that you go to these parties sometimes? You know when you go to these parties, you go to a friend's party, and there's some people you can't fucking stand them. That's why I don't go to parties, because I don't want to be around those people. Anybody that likes me, yo, dude, you know where I'm at. Or when I go to a party and I don't like people, you know what I do? I sit in my fucking corner. And the people that I want to hang out with, they come and we have a conversation and all the laughs are there. And before you know it, everybody's trying to come to my corner. I'm not here to please you. I don't care if you don't like the screaming. I don't care if you don't like the negativity. I don't care if you're not in on the joke. It doesn't matter. This isn't for you. Okay? If you spend your life doing things for people who don't like it, you're fucked. So, a guy who says that he doesn't like negativity is exactly the guy that puts negativity into the thing. You know what I mean? Nostika asks a good question, if I may, okay? The question I ask all the time. How many of you don't know this record? How many of you do know the record? Can you please tell me? How many know and don't know? I don't know the record. Never heard it before. Okay? The reason it is that I'm putting this in, okay, so Carbonara knows the record very well. Carbonara's definitely a patron. Jake Wynn, Mac Attack, don't know the record at all. Rush knows the record. Gladdick doesn't know the fucking record. Damn. Gladdick doesn't know it? Cool Olds knows her music and she says she loves it. Seb, listen to it your whole life. Okay, the reason it is that I'm, like, making a point of pointing all of this out is because, those of you who do know the record and those of you who have listened to it your whole life and everything like that, we're going to be listening to you. You guys kind of have the floor. You guys, we're here basically to enjoy your experience, to hear your stories, you know? So this is one of the only clubs where we like old people, because old people got stories. I fucking love I love the older members of this group. To me, the elders matter. So, that's where it is that the experience will be a lot of fun. And, look, folks, you're all you're patrons. You're all fucking patrons, so you know each other. You see the same names. It's kind of what's fun. Sure, you can come and sure, it's me, I'm here all the time, but it's the fact that there are other people, and sometimes people aren't here all the time, but you start seeing the same names, you understand? There's a community that happens. You come here, you know that you're going to talk about music, and we focus on that. There's a community that happens. People leave the rest of the nonsense out, unless you're a troll, like that other dude. But we handle them. Well, Sam, why don't you just not pay attention to it? Because it's fun to fucking destroy trolls, that's why. It's fun. I let it pass sometimes if I'm not in the mood to do it. You know? And the other question that I always have, and this is very interesting, to me always, where are you from? Countries. I want to know the countries that you're from. Van Morrison, was he a big artist where you were from? Is it an artist that you were extremely familiar with? Always curious. And the reason it is that I always ask that as well is because depending on where you're from, your experience of music is completely different. Okay, so the American experience is not the same as the UK experience, and that's something that I've noticed. Like for me, the UK, we have a lot of British patrons. I got to tell you, I'm extremely happy about that. I'm proud that my British friends like the show as much as they do. We have like a lot of, probably like in terms of like, you know, average or whatever type of thing, we probably have more UK friends than anything else. It's crazy. And I was puzzled over that. I asked myself, why? And I'm asking, especially the older ones, my UK friends, okay, where are you? Step up. What is it that attracts you to a show like this? I mean, I'm not particularly British. I'm a dumb fucking Canuck. I sound more American than anything else. I realize this. Okay? But there seems to be a draw for UK people. What is it? The theory I went on, and I might be wrong, and I could very possibly be wrong. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I do that. Oh, Americans. Okay. I think it's something like the John Peel effect. I mean, obviously, John Peel didn't go gonzo like I did. He's not a fucking maniac like me. All right? But you guys are used to the DJ. You guys are used to having somebody talk to you. You're used to that way of discovering music. And I'm wondering if it's that. Again, it might not be. But I got a special bond with my UK friends. I can't explain. Is it? Yeah. I fucking love you guys. I do. I really love you guys. Well, listen, I'm eccentric. I'm obviously eccentric, but I'm also kind of like... Listen, man. Maybe I sound like an obnoxious Canadian dude. I know this. But somehow... UK. Somehow you get it. I don't understand. I wish I did. I pair up well with tea and crumpets. Yeah, that's what it is. Fuck. We looking forward to this? I gotta go rock a piss already, folks. Can I do something? I want to do something nice for one of my UK bands, okay? If you just give me a moment, it's going to take a while here. I just want to queue up a record. There's a band from the UK that, they like us. I don't know if they're hanging out. Sometimes they're here, okay? You see, British are stiff upper lip too. My directness is appealing. That's what it is that I want to know. How can my directness, I would think, is appalling. My directness is very often seen as very fucking rude by, of course, the people that I'm talking directly to, always. People find me rude when when they're in the crosshair. You understand? But it's like, I would think, and I mean, that the rudeness, the crudeness, the cringe is exactly what would keep you away from something like this. And instead, I'm finding that UK people, they hang out, they become patrons, and they stay patrons. So there's this band, a young band, called the Luca State. The Luca State. British Britpop band. And fans of the show, they liked the show. Hey, you want to listen to our album? We just put out our new album. Sure, I never pay attention too much to that kind of thing, because it's like, send, don't send. Sure, you know? Wind up talking, send me a record, and it winds up sounding fucking amazing. Like, really a good record. Sorry, I'm trying to do something at the same time. I'm trying to find the exact same record so that I can play something. I gotta take a piss beforehand, so I'm gonna save Bing Bong for the middle set. I'm gonna save Bing Bong for the middle set and play you a single from my new friends from the UK. A band called Luca State. Okay, well, glad I cut through the bullshit. It's real, it's genuine, it's not scripted. Well, that's all true. That's absolutely true. I'm not trying to please you. I'm trying to present myself as a fucking dirty-ass human being with flaws that are very obvious. And if you like me, and accept me on those terms, then you know what I am, and I know that I'm being accepted for real, and that you like the show for real. And if you're a patron, then obviously you like the show for real. And at that point, you see, what it does is it changes my focus completely. It puts my focus squarely on you. I start spending every waking moment doing whatever it is that I can to make you happy, to give you more. So we'll go out and we'll plan a San Francisco trip. with no thought to profit, because we're not doing it for profit. We're doing it to hang out. When you plan a family reunion, do you plan to make a buck off of it? That's not why we're doing this. We're doing this because we want to be together with you. You know? So, they sent this record. This is who they are. Look at this. Please, does anybody know the Luca State? This album was released on BMG. Okay, so it's not small time. The dude who mixed the album mixed that Killers album, Sam's whatever. The Killers album with the Sam. Mixed some U2. Mixed some Arctic Monkeys. So we're talking about big names. And it's on BMG, a major label. Okay? So he sends me this, but I look at the cover. Like, I mean, are these guys the British Backstreet Boys? The gun in the back, the shirt, the stripe. It's like, these guys look like twats. So I left the album closed. And then the dude started talking to me, the singer. I think it's this dude's striped shirt boy. Starts talking to me. So yeah, I got the record, because it's like that I'll do. Listen, if I told you, send the record, then it's fine. I mean, I'll tell you I got the record. I got the record and I started listening to it and I liked it. I liked it. And I told him, I listened to the record and I really do like it. It's like your music sounds like fucking Britpop that could sell 1 million copies if people heard it. But you look like a bunch of twats. And he started laughing his ass off. He was laughing about it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use that as our next press release. Britpop that sounds like it could sell 1 million copies, but they dress like twats. And so they became patrons. This Luca State. Now, so this is the third band that I know of that became patrons. Idols, Andy Williams from Doves, and now these guys. All three of them from the UK. All three of them from the UK. And it's like, I'm just wondering what it is. It's just, I would think that I come off as a very rude person. Because to me, I always saw the English as pretty, gentlemen. Except for the soccer people. The Idols are Australian. I don't know where. No, they're in the UK somewhere. Okay? No, I'm not fucking corporate. Not even close. I'll never be corporate. But anyway. I spoke to the singer. I forgot what his name is. Some good UK name. And he agreed to show up sometime this week. We're going to play some songs for you. I'm going to talk to him during one of the regular evening shows. And you're going to listen to it. I'm going to play you a song that I like. You tell me if you like it. I'm not telling you to like it, not like it. This is just a little bit of preamble, okay? Tell me if you like it, don't like it. I'm going to play you a song from my new friends, Luca State. They're patrons. And if we can help them sell some records, then I'm happy to do that, man. Always happy to help the smaller guys. And thank you for supporting what we do. The rest of you, patreon.com/Vinyl Junkies. Step up. Laugh hard. It's time to become a patron again. Make it happen, buddy. This song is called Insert Girl's Name Here. Hope you enjoy it.
Back up and leave
take it on the other side. Take it on the other side.
So come and do me wrong, like I can take this, 'cause I've been here before, I know I can beat this. So come and do me wrong, 'cause I can take this.
Okay, so you see, I got a comment which doesn't surprise me in there. One of you UK guys says it sounds a lot like just Britpop that's here. See, and I kind of caught that well. Okay, I caught that immediately. I did. But I kind of don't care if you can write a song. If the song's catchy, if the song's got a hook, I don't care. I mean, when the Strokes came out, were they doing anything that different? It's rock and roll. Motherfucker. They can write a hook, though. You know, so to me, that's what it is that got me. It's not, oh, it sounds like this. Look, man. No one's inventing anything. Here. You want inventing? You want really, you guys, oh, you know, I like only original music. There. Go get this record, the Thai Elephant Orchestra. There. That's it. Be original. This is an orchestra made up of elephants. The elephants play the instruments. The trainers train them to play instruments. Beats being in a circus, right? In other words, if we're really looking at what, who's being fucking original? It's rock and roll, man. It's music. All these gatekeepers. It's got to sound like this. It's got to sound like that. It doesn't have to sound like this. I don't get it. But I dug the record. So, dude is going to hang out with us at some point. And after I told him he dressed like a twat is when he became a patron, so I guess he won't be offended. Yes, cool olds, really. Yes, Thai Elephant Orchestra is a thing, and the record came out on Record Store Day this year, and it's great. I played it just yesterday, as a matter of fact, on the show. And we're looking to get one of the elephants to come and talk on the show. It's going to be a little bit difficult. On the other hand, fucking Bongo, my phone keeps ringing. Bongo keeps wanting to get on. I told him I don't want. You know where that name came from, right? Supposedly, Bono wrote a letter. This is when Captain Beefheart was out in the desert being a fucking hermit, painting. So he writes a letter to Captain Beefheart saying, look, I'm a big fan of what you do, and I was I would like to collaborate with you on a project, with this whole thing. And his response back was, Dear Bongo, no. That's my favorite rock and roll story of all time. You self-absorbed twat. Fuck you, Bongo. I hate that guy. You know what one of the most cringe moments of my entire life is? watching fucking Bongo read Charles Bukowski during a Bukowski, biography. It was fucking cringe watching Bongo read Bukowski. It's like, you fucker, you're completely douching my favorite author. You're fucking douching him. Bongo's a fucking dickface. I hate him. Yeah, exactly. Some fucking guy clapping for the dying children in Africa. Fuck you. Seriously. This is all an exercise in ego, and these people, and then what's surprising, the fucking brainwashed Saint Bongo. What's Saint Bongo? What's Saint Bongo? This is an exercise in ego. His capital, his business, his capital investment business. I forgot what the hell it's called. It's called after one of his stupid songs. Elevation or something like that. I don't remember what it is. They started touting, oh, we're going to change. We are completely going to change starvation. We're going to cure starvation in Africa. We have these seeds that we're developing, these fucking genetically modified seeds. These seeds will be able to grow. We can grow fruits and vegetables in any ground, even the worst African ground. So what it's going to do is it's going to completely fucking revolutionize everything. We're going to cure Africa. Everybody, Saint Bongo. Saint Bongo. Now, what it is that they don't fucking tell you is that there's a fucking profit to be made there. Because these fucknuts who are giving away this shit, you know what they're doing? You know what these seeds are? These genetically modified seeds that they're talking about are fucking zombie seeds. So land acts a certain way to seeds. You gotta keep areas fallow. There's this whole thing, right? Farmers know this more than me. Now this seed is a fucking zombie seed. And what it is that it does is it makes it so that the fucking land becomes dependent on that seed, and that's what grows. And then what they do is they're able to create a new sustainable food source, which can produce produce for the European market, for the American market. And what we do then is we turn African farmers into Chinese sweatshop workers, churning out food for profit for first world countries. So you see, it's not about curing hunger in Africa. It's about making money. And Bongo's a fucking twat, because he hides behind this holier than thou thing. I would fucking spit in that guy's face how much I hate him. You know how much I can't stand that fucking guy? So, I don't buy into any of it. You know, you're supposed to buy it, but somehow it's just, that's why I can't stand Bongo more than anything else. Everything that I know about Bongo turns me off. He skeeves me. And that's why I'm never going to fucking play any Bongo. Can I tell you the bet we made? Yeah, well, I talk a lot now. Listen, it's a radio show. You can leave if you want. If this has bored you, please feel free to leave. Astral Weeks is available right now on Spotify. You can be there in less than 15 seconds. And you could be listening to the music. I'm 51 years old. I'm at the point where I'm beginning to lose. If I don't take care of my health, I'm fucked. I'm gonna die. All right. I'm 6'1". I'm a big guy. I weigh 280 pounds. It's a lot of weight on a 51-year-old heart. It's a lot of weight to carry. Because I love eating. The most difficult thing I can possibly do is lose weight. So me being who I am, what it is that I've done is I've set a goal for myself to motivate myself. I've made it public that my goal at the end of 666 days of broadcast is to completely change my life during this pandemic and say I used my pandemic time to completely transform my life and be a better human being. And I knew all along that the one thing, my Achilles heel, the thing that always had me beat was food, was weight, was all of this stuff. There's nothing harder. So I cut out sugar. Hardest thing I ever did. But now I'm about 6 weeks without sugar and I'm doing it good. And now I'm at the point where I know I got to lose some weight. I have to. So I told myself, and it's like, wait a second, how can I do this? I've tried a million times before. I've failed a million times before. I like food. And I know myself the best thing to do to motivate myself is to say it publicly. Because if I fail, then I own it. If I fail, I fail. And I don't like failing. I don't fucking like failing. So I set a goal for myself. All right? By January 7th is virus broadcast 666. So by that time, it'll be 666 straight days of broadcast, not a single day off. And the idea is that at the end of those 666 days, this nightmare is over. And then we can stop those broadcasts. Let's hope that that's true. So I know that this is something that I'm going to be able to hang my hat on for the rest of my life. This is what I did during gingivitis. I'm proud of what I've done for sure. But the fucking cherry on the sundae, which I can't eat because it's sugar, would be to finally, for once and for all, make the changes I have to make if I want to stay alive. Because I don't want to have a heart attack. I'm blessed with good genes. So I don't have to take any heart pressure pill. I don't have to take any blood pressure pills. I don't have to take any cholesterol pills. I'm not taking anything. I'm taking medication for my bipolar. It's a completely different thing. So I'm lucky. I'm blessed with good genes. Fucked up mind, but good genes in terms of the rest, you know? I come from a family of farmers, so. And so I made myself the goal. I'm 280 pounds. By January 6th, I propose to myself to lose 40 pounds. I got to be 240 pounds. 240. I've made that my goal. Wait a second. What does this have to do with anything? You're beginning to sound as self-absorbed as Bongo. I try to make my stories relatable. It's not about telling stories about me. It's about telling stories that are human through my eyes. But hopefully the struggle is something that's relatable. So you can kind of like change it your own, you change it to mean you. So what it is that I did is I made a punishment for myself. If I don't reach my goal, I got a U2 single here. I got to play both sides of this U2 single. I think I got the single to still haven't found what I'm looking for and whatever the B-side is. And me not having to play bongo is the greatest motherfucking motivator ever. And I can tell you that I will move heaven and earth to hit 240 pounds by the time January 7th comes around because I ain't playing bongo. That's where I was going with my story. Fuck bongo! You twat. My hatred for bongo is my motivation for getting healthy. That's what I'm saying. You understand? I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. That's how I'm motivating myself. If I don't fucking do this, I gotta play bongo. I don't want to play bongo. I'd rather fucking stick an ice pick in my forehead. Bongo. Every time we're hungry, hey, let's... Oh yeah, I'm clapping for the fucking children in Africa. We're gonna turn their parents into fucking zombie farmers. Fuck you, bongo. Fucking bongo. Ugh. Stop clapping, you twat. All right. This bong's been warm for a while, man. This bong's calling my name. The mushrooms are fully, I would say that they're kicked in, so I'm ready to listen. Gazebo says now he kind of wants me to fail. Bitch, put your money where your mouth is. Bet that I'm going to lose. I want you to bet. Put whatever you want. Put $10 on your name. Put $10 on your name right now. If I fail, I'll give you 20. And I'll play bongo for you. Bet against me. I want you to bet against me. I'll take your odds. I'll give you 2-1. Let's go. That's how I motivate myself. Tell me I can't do it. Tell me I can't do something. Watch me. And if anybody thinks that I can't do it, step up. Tip me. Tip me and put U2 in it. I'm going to calculate all of that. We're going to keep a note of who gave what. And if I lose, I'll give you your money. And I'll give you another whatever you put in. If you bet 10, you win 20. Let's go. No, bongo, fuck you. I got to wear a bongo t-shirt. No, that's out of it. That's not happening. I'll play the single, and I'll give you 2-1 odds on your money. Step up. I'm taking your bets, bitch. Let's go. Am I going to lose the weight? What do you think? Will I fail? You can't do gambling here, so then don't do it. No 2-1 odds. Forget it. Maybe that's the kind of thing that motivates me. Tell me I can't. All right, let's see. See you on January 7th, baby. We ready to do this? Do you guys enjoy the preamble? Do you enjoy the talks? I hope so. Because they're an enormous part of why we do this. It's pirate radio. It's new radio. It's gonzo radio. Doesn't exist anywhere else. I'm proud to say that. No one else does what we do. No one. No one. So, if you like this part of the world, you like what we do, support what we do. Become a patron. Patreon.com/Vinyl Junkies. We're at 612. Let's get to 613. Patreon.com/Vinyl Junkies is where you become patron 613. $2 or $5 a month is fine. Whatever's your budget. No update from the Beggars Group. We're not going to get the Beggars Group. The Beggars Group doesn't want to touch this. Yeah. U2 busking on the New York subway with Jimmy Fallon. Everything about fucking bongo reeks. It reeks of pretension. It reeks. It reeks of ego. David Bowie didn't reek of ego. Even though you took so many pictures of him, you can see that all of it was artistically bent. It wasn't about self-gratification for the ego. There was always that thing. You can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. Okay, this is the last thing that I'm going to refer to before we start the music. Did Caretaker get funded? Caretaker completely got funded. As a matter of fact, so much so that if you take a look at the screen, you'll notice that August 20th, Friday, August 20th, we are doing a Caretaker show. The whole thing got funded from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Yeah, I'm doing a 12-hour show. We are going to break our previous long, continuous streak for a show of 10 hours and 13 minutes. That's the longest show I've ever done. 10 hours and 13 minutes. I will attempt to break that record and go 12 hours. So it's going to be noon to midnight Eastern Standard Time. And what we will do is play all of the Caretaker. All 6 volumes of everything at the end of time. Stages 1 to 6. These 6 albums represent a person's descent into memory loss and not schizophrenia, but Dementia. This is basically like the sound of what's going on in a person's head as dementia takes over, as they begin to lose their memory. It's really very fucking captivating. Really captivating. Listen, call in. I would tell you call in for this kind of thing. If you want this kind of... Look, it's going to be like an art exhibit, okay? We're going to be listening to a sound installation. It's going to be massive. I mean, the 6 volumes is 6.5 hours of music. Plus, I got another 2 Caretaker albums. We're looking at 8 hours of Caretaker. Now, if you know what it is, you know that it's going to be something that... It's profound. It's profound. It's beautiful. It's disturbing. It's one of the most original experiences I've ever heard in sound. Really, I can't wait for it to happen. So much so that we're dedicating an entire day to it. So... what it is that I would tell you is, if you want to take the day off, that would be the good day to take off. Get yourself some drugs. If you're 18 and older and if you're allowed. Don't do anything that's illegal. Me in Canada, we're allowed doing mushrooms, so I'm going to do mushrooms. I got all the weed I need. I'm going to be ready. And all of my Canadian friends and everybody else, well, that's what we're doing. And it's going to be a 12-hour stretch. It will be something new, man. So, always working to give us something special, to do something that's not there, to give proper consideration to art. All right, folks. We're ready. We're going to start this. I hope that you enjoy it. It is going to be my first time. I'm looking very forward to listening to it and experiencing it with you. I'm honored to be able to do this with you. I feel like really fortunate to be able to do this. And please know that I am grateful to all of you, my patrons. Those who support this radio, the supporters of this radio show, I'm grateful to all of you. It's because of you that I can say fuck you. It's because of you that I can be the last DJ. Because you guys, with your $2 a month, vote and say, nah, I support this. People like David Rush, who put up just happy to be here to listen to Record with the People and puts up $10. Yeah, dude. Because you're spending a couple hours. $10 for a couple hours isn't much. Even $2, whatever. But what we do is, because it's a community, everybody puts it together. And we're able to do things like special shit for you. And the people here are fabulous. So, I'm proud of us. And I'm grateful to you. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than going to a bar. You're not wrong there. All right. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, folks. I'm looking very forward to this. Thank you for sharing this experience with me. Family bong.
If I ventured in the slipstream between the viaducts of your dream, where mobile steel rims crack and the ditch and the back road stop, could you find me? Or would you kiss my eyes, lay me down, silence easy to be born again, to be born again. From the far side of the ocean, if I put the wheels in motion, and I stand with my arms behind me, and I'm pushing out the door, could you find me? Would you kiss my eyes, lay me again. To be born again. There you go, standing with the look of avarice, talking to you to let better, showing pictures on the wall, whispering in the hall. I'm pointing a finger at me. There you go, there you go, standing in the sun, darling, with your arms behind you and your eyes before. And there you go, taking care of your boy, seeing that he's got clean clothes, putting on his little red shoes, seeing that he's got clean clothes, putting on his little red shoes, pointing a finger at me. Standing in your side rest, trying to do my very best, looking straight at you, coming through, darling. I've ventured in the slipstream between the viaducts of your dream, where a mobile steel rims crack and the ditch in the back road stop. Could you find me? Would you kiss my eyes and lay me down in silence easy to be born again, to be born again, to be born again, to be born again. In another world, darling, in another world, in another time. Got a home on high, ain't nothing but a stranger in this world. I'm nothing but a stranger in this world. I got a home on high in another land, so far away, so far away. We up in the heaven, we up in the heaven, we up in the heaven. In another time, in another place, in another time, in another place. Ooh. In another time. and another place, and another time, and another place, and another face.
I'm completely enthralled.
Little Jim is gone away out on the back street, out of the window to the falling rain. Right on time, right on time. That's why I broke an arrow with his finger down the road so dark and narrow in the evening, just before the Sunday's six bell chime, six bells chime. You know the dogs are barking way down the damn steady highway where you wander, and you roam from your retreat and view. Way over on the railroad, tomorrow all the tipping tracks will unload together. Every scrapbook stuck with glue, and I'll stand beside you. Beside you, child. To never, never, never wonder why at all. No, 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 no. To never, never wonder why at all. To never, never, never wonder why. It's gotta be, it has to be. Way across the country where the hillside mountain glide, the dynamo of your smile caressed the barefoot virgin child to wander past your window with the lantern lit. You held it in the doorway and you kissed against the pointed idle breeze. Said your time was open, go well on your merry way. Past the brazen footlets of the silent seas, eh? You breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, you breathe out. In your head, on the high flying cloud, wrapped up in your magic shroud as ecstasy surrounds you. This time it's found you. You turn around, you turn around, you turn around, you turn around, and I'm beside you, beside you. Oh, darling, to never, never wonder why at all. No, 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 no. To never, never, never wonder why at all. To never, never, never wonder why. It's gotta be, it has to be, and I'm beside you. to never, never wonder why at all. I'm beside you, beside you, beside you, beside you. Oh, child.
Whoa.
And I was strong the merry way and jumped the hedges first. And I will drink the clear, clean water for to quench my thirst. And I'll show out the ferry boats and they'll get high on the blue ocean against tomorrow's sky. And I will never grow so old again. And I will walk and talk in gardens all wet with rain. Oh, oh. Sweet thing, sweet thing. Yeah. Sweet thing. I shall drive my chariot down your streets and cry. Oh, it's beyond dynamite and I don't know why. And you shall take me strongly in your arms again. And I will remember that I ever felt the pain. We shall walk and talk in gardens all misty wet with rain down. And I will never grow so old again. Ooh, 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 the sweet thing. Ooh, 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 you sweet thing, you sweet thing. My. And I will raise my hand up into the night cloud sky. A Chinese star that shine in your eyes. I'm just to dig it all, not to wonder, that's just right. And I'll be satisfied not to read in between the lines. And I will walk and talk in gardens all wet with rain. And I will never, ever grow so old again. Oh, oh, sweet thing. Oh, 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 sugar baby. Oh, oh, sweet thing. Sugar baby. Sugar baby, sugar baby. What is champagne I had? I just say like one more time. Up on Cyprus Avenue. I call one more time. Up on Cyprus Avenue. And I'm conquered in a car seat. Nothing that I can do. I may go crazy before that mansion on the hill. I may go crazy before that mansion on the hill. But my heart keeps beating faster. Yeah, my feet can't keep still. And had the little girl dropped something on the way back home from school. And had the little girl dropped something on the way back home from school. And I leave for one by one and call the autumn time a fool. And my tongue gets tied. Every time I try to speak. But the tongue gets tied. Every time I try to speak. My inside shakes, that's like a leaf on a tree. I think I'll go walk by the river with my cherry wine. I believe I'll go walking by the railroad with my cherry wine. If I pass the rumbling station where the lonesome engine drivers pine. Wait a minute, Lord, there come my lady. Rainbow ribbons in her hair. Come my lady. Rainbow ribbons in her hair. Say it's right harder than a carriage. Should return them from the fair. Baby, 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 baby. And I'll call one more time. We're up on Cyprus Avenue. Oh, yes, I am. Yeah, I'll cry one more time up on Cyprus Avenue. Oh. Way up, on, 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 way up, on. The avenue of trees. Keep walking down in the winter rain, darling. You keep walking down when the sun shone through the trees. Nobody, nobody stop me from loving you, baby. So young and bold, 14 years old. Baby, 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 baby. Ooh.
I realize full well that I've just listened to something remarkable. It's astounding. The manner that the instruments play off his voice, the manner in which he phrases, combined with the lyrics, it's a singular talent. You know? It's hard to be able to say that, you know, that you're a singular talent. I mean, how can I not like that? That's more than like. This is the record that kind of like had me thinking while I'm shrooming out. And it's pretty clear that I'm going to have to get to know Mr. Van Morrison at least a little bit better. At least this here is, I mean, because I certainly can imagine this fulfilling me. I can imagine this making me happy just the same way Veden Fleece did. That first side. So it's more than enjoyment in this case. It's the case like, yeah, this is exactly where I need to be. There's something soothing about what he's sings. There's something soothing. There's something... His cadence is a gift. It's as simple as that. I mean, the man's born with a gift. And it's mind-blowing to me that this is the first time that I hear it. I'm not embarrassed, nothing like that. But I can't fucking... I liken it to the first time that I ever heard Love Forever Changes. I liken this to the first time I ever heard Odyssey and Oracle, the Zombies. I can't say the same thing about... I mean, I would like to say Pet Sounds, but I can't say the same thing for Pet Sounds because I don't remember the first time. But I do have pretty distinct memories of the first time I heard Love Forever Changes and the first time I heard Odyssey and Oracle. And I realized from that moment, it's like, yeah, this is just, it's something else. It's fucking spectacular. And my feeling about those albums hasn't changed all these years. I revere Odyssey and Oracle. I revere it. I listen to Love Forever Changes and I cry with it still now. And I hear the same thing here. I mean, to me, that's remarkable. I'm happy that I'm new on this journey because there's so much more to enjoy. There's repeated listenings. I mean, something that I know also that I'll need to do is I'll need to get myself a better copy of it. Okay, so This is the Warner copy, okay? I bought myself just any old copy type of thing. It's a new record. I mean, I paid it $25 Canadian, so it's a cheap record. I'm pretty sure in the US you can get them for $20, that kind of thing. And frankly, that's all it is that I wanted to do. Because it's like, I'm not committed to this record. I don't care. Any old copy will do. That was the idea. After listening, halfway through side one, I realized that this copy won't do. There is so much happening there with the strings. There's so much interplay. I think I heard a sitar there, but there's so much interplay. There's so much delicacy and nuance to the playing that's happening underneath that's kind of being muddied by the pressing. So I already know that this is one of those records where I got to go get myself a really astounding copy of it. And I haven't even heard side 2 yet. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. And what's even more remarkable about that to me is that I know that Van Morrison's a shit stain of a human being. And doesn't take away from his gift, man. It doesn't take away from his gift. And I'm glad to be enjoying it, and I'm glad to have that moment where I hear a record for the first time, and it's like, wow. It's a special moment in time, you know? This is what I live for. This is why it is that I do these old man videos. This is why I take time with the preamble. Because I want to be able to create exactly this type of an experience. And this is just about as wow an experience as I can think of. A wow experience happens sometimes. Listen, Mars Volta, the first time I ever listened to Mars Volta was during these old man episodes. So Mars Volta, it's like I'm all in on Mars Volta. I absolutely understand the big deal there. And I'm happy that I have the records that I have. So the old mans, I always think of it that way. And then I listen to this and it's exactly that. This is going to be an old man for me that I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember. I mean, I know that I'm listening to something massive. I know that this is an album that's going to, that will continue to deliver. There's something I need to hear the lyrics more clearly. I need to pay attention to them. I need to spend time with it. I need to be alone with it. You know what I'm saying? Because artists that do it right, they can just create this mood. They can put you in this bubble. And that's what fucking Van Morrison does to me. How can he be such an asshole? I don't understand. Van Morrison puts me in a bubble. In a really comfortable bubble. It's so funny because I've been trying to find the words and all of a sudden the idea of a bubble came up and it's like, that's perfect. It's just it envelops you, protects you. There's something just absolutely enticing about his voice, about his delivery. It's a singular talent. See, when it comes to separating art from the artist, I always remember it's the fish that's magnificent, not the fisherman. That's exactly right. That's actually a quote that I can imagine myself using, you know? I mean, I'm pretty much now going to have to get myself another copy of this. That's not a bad thing. I mean, for somebody who's spent his entire life who's now dedicated his life to music, to come across a record like that, you know what that means? That's a big deal. I mean, to me it is. And then all of a sudden, all of these kind of waves of things start coming to me, and it's like these pieces, you know, where Joe talks about how it's his favorite album, and I think one of you mentioned that, it's an album he used to listen to with his dad, who passed. And then all of a sudden, I try to put myself in his thing. It's like, I wonder how that music was. You know, it's like I would have loved to have that conversation with him. I'm a huge fan of Hounds of Love. We played some Hounds of Love like 2 days ago. I'm an enormous Kate Bush fan, so yeah. I mean, I'm glad we're doing this. I couldn't be more pleased with what it is that I got. I feel like I got another side one of Veden Fleece, and I'm looking forward to continued spins. I'm looking forward to hearing it more. It's pretty cool when you're only halfway through an album and you're already looking forward to hear it for the second time. I'm really curious. Jake Wynn makes a very good point. Okay? And this is something that I would be willing to do. Okay? Sometimes we work on series called Old Man Classics. Okay? So question. How many of you are not familiar with Carole King Tapestry? That's a hell of a record to mention. How many of you are not familiar with Carole King Tapestry? Because that is a record that absolutely describes the bubble I'm talking about. Carole King Tapestry is special to me in exactly the way I just described. So you could not be more on about that record. And that's a record I go back to on a very regular basis. So yeah, I can absolutely imagine myself doing an Old Man Classics, because I'm seeing a bunch of you that don't know it. And those of you who do know it, like myself, I know that record very well. Holy shit, we're gonna lay down on them. That record can still make me cry. You see, so it's not just about nerding out on... The show isn't about just Van Morrison or doing that. No, man. The show is the conversation we're happening. That's the joy. The communal experience of talking about music the way we're doing right now. I'm just the center voice, but the chat, that's your tableau. That's your tableau, and you fill it with positive experiences. And that's what the magic of these old man shows are. And that's why this record now is something that I'm never going to forget. Because you guys made it even... You made something beautiful even more beautiful for me. You took my favorite thing in the world, music, my favorite thing in the world, and you gave me exactly what I've been planning for. What it is exactly what I built this for. You gave me a beautiful moment that even transcends that. It's amazing. I'll do this forever. Because coming together over music's important, man. You know? I'm going to play side 2 of this. Part 2. Oh, I just noticed it says part 2. Even that pleases me. Rather than side 1 and side 2, part 1 and part 2 kind of tells you, again, you remember what it is that I said before I even heard the album and before I noticed that little thing? I said how the album experience, 2 chapters, part 1, part 2. It's exactly... That makes me happy because it makes me feel like not a fool. Because he just described exactly... This record embodies exactly what I'm talking about. And the fact that he described the sides as part 1 and part 2, that's exactly it. It's like a book. It's like poetry being delivered to you. That's exactly it. You know? There's a band called The Rotary Connection, which I'm a massive fan of. And they do a lot of really tripped out psychedelic music. Some of my favorite psychedelic music of all time. And their first record is exactly that. The sides are called Trip 1 and Trip 2. And each of them are 20 solid minutes of just crazy ass psychedelic music. Trip 1, Trip 2. They get it. There's an idea there, you know? That's the album experience, and this embodies it. So much so that I wish I didn't have to take a piss. But I gotta take a piss, man. And Rucksuck, Cray Cray, I just want you to know that I absolutely love hearing your stories about how you were raised with crazy religious people and now you're just a crazy not religious person. It just adds flavor. Everything I hear about you just adds a beautiful flavor. Keep being crazy. You got no choice. You're fucking crazy. Keep being your crazy ass self, man. You got no choice and you do it well. All right. Let's give the voice over to Corky Buchek. I gotta go rock a piss. See you in a bit.
Ding bang, ding ding ding, ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, ding ding bang, ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, bing 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 bing, ding ding bang bang, ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Bing bang, ding 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 bang bang bong. Dee dee, Bing bang, ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, ding ding bang, ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, bing 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 bing, ding ding bang bang, ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Bing bang, ding 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 bang bang bong. Dee dee, Bing bang, ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, ding ding bang, ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, bing 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 bing, ding ding bang bang, ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Bing bang, ding 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 bang bang bong. Dee dee. Bing bang, bing ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, ding ding bang, ding 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 ding. Bing bang bong, bing 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 ding bang bang ding ding ding. Ding 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 ding. Bing bang, ding 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 ding. Dee dee.
I like to put my own twist on these songs. I ad lib. You understand? It's because I'm an artist. Much like Van Morrison, my voice is unique too. It sounds like it's the sound of years of anguish and therapy. I told you I don't go to therapy anymore. I'm cured now. I still love listening to that. I'm cured. I'm cured. All right. I am very down for this. I'm fully shrooming, so the experience is there. Whoever it is that suggested it, thank you. It's a pleasant experience. I'm enjoying this. All right, folks. I'm your riff dealer. I'm your vibe merchant. Tip your vibe merchant. I'm delivering you some songs. Tip your waiter. If you like me. If you want to. And thanks for being supportive. Thanks for listening. New folks, if you like what we do, support it. Become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $2 or $5 a month. Patreon.com/Vinyl Junkies is where that can happen. Go become a patron for as little as $2 or $5 a month. And We will be happy to greet new patrons on the flip side. Capisciste? It's going to be awesome. Let's see here. I'm just about ready to go on site 2. You guys feeling refreshed? You got your beverages? We ready to do site 2? Not too soon, is it? What do you say? We get it done? Let's get it done. All right. So, smoke them if you got them, man. So very happy to be here with you.
We strolled through fields all wet with rain, and back along the lane again. There in the sunshine, in the sweet summertime, the way that young lovers do. I kissed you on the lips once more, and we said goodbye at your front door in the night time. Yeah, that's the right time to feel the way that young lovers do. Then we sat down our own star and dreamed of the way that we were and the way that we wanted to be. Then we sat on our own star and dreamed of the way that I was for you and that you were for me. And then we danced the night away and turned into each other, say, I love you, I love you, the way that you Then we sat on our own star and dreamed of the way that we were and the way that we wanted to be. Then we sat on our own star and dreamed of the way that I was for you and you were for me. I will love to dance the night away and turn into each other. Down Cyprus Avenue, with a childlike vision sleeping into view. The click and clacking of the high-heeled shoe. Ford and Fitzroy, Madam Joy. Marching with the soldier boy behind. He's much older now with hat on, drinking wine. And that smell of sweet perfume volume comes drifting through. The cool night air like Shalimar. And outside they're making all the stops. Kids out in the street collecting bottle tops. Gone for cigarettes and matches in the shops. Happy taking Madam Joy. Oh, that's when you fall. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's when you fall. Yeah, that's when you fall. When you fall into a trance, sitting on a sofa playing games of chance, with your folded arms and history books you glance into the eyes of Madam George. And you think you found the bag. You're getting weaker and your knees begin to sag. In a corner playing dominoes and drag. The one and only Madam George. Let's film outside the frosty window wraps. She jumps up and says, Lord have mercy, I think that it's the cops. And immediately drops everything she got down into the street below. And you know you gotta go on a train from Dublin up the sandy road, throwing pennies at the bridges down below. And the rain, hail, sleet and snow. Say goodbye to Madam Joy. Dry your eye for Madam Joy. Wonder why for Madam Joy. Whoa. And as you leave, the room is filled with music, laughing music, dancing music all around the room. And all the little boys coming around, walking away from it all. So cool. And as you're back to leave, the Johnson says, hey love, you forgot your glove. And the love that loves, the love that loves, the love that loves, the love that loves, to love, the love that loves, to love, the love that loves. To say goodbye to Madam Joy. Dry your eye for Madam Joy. Wonder why for Madam Joy. Dry your eye for Madam Joy. under the rain on the back street. In the back street, in the back street. Say goodbye to Madame Joy. In the back street, in the back street, in the back street. Down home in the back street. Gotta go. Say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
You'll be melting it.
Say goodbye, no matter what. And the love, the loves, the love, the loves, the love, the loves, to love, the love, the loves, the love, to love, the love, the loves, to love. Say goodbye, 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 Say goodbye, 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 goodbye. Hey, to Madame Joy. Right, to Madame Joy. One love, right, Madame Joy. The love, the love, the love, the loves, to love, the love, the loves, to love, the love, the loves, to love. Say goodbye, goodbye. Get on the train, come on. Get on the train, the train, the train, the train, the train, God. This is the train, this is the train, darling. This is the train. Oh, say goodbye, 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 goodbye.
It says goodbye as it fades away. It's kind of perfect.
Spread your wings. Come on, fly wild. Straight to my arms, early lane, your child. You know you're only lonely 22-story block. And that somebody, not just anybody, wanted to get close to you. For instance, me, baby. All you gotta do is ring the bell. Step right up. Step right up. And step right up. Ballerina. Grab it, catch it. Fly it, say it. Try it. Well, I may be wrong, but something deep in my heart tells me I'm right, and I don't think so. You know, I saw the writing on the wall. When you came up to me, shy you were heading for. But if it gets to you, and you feel like you just can't go on, all you gotta do ring a bell. Step right up. Step right up. Step right up. Just like a ballerina. Stepping lightly. All right. Well, it's getting late. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And this time I thought you should slip into your slumber. The light is on the left side of your head. And I'm standing in your doorway, and I'm mumbling, and I can't remember the last thing that ran through my head. Here come a man, and he say this show must go on. Ring the bell and step right up. Step right up. Step right up. Just like a ballerina. Yeah, yeah. Grab and catch it. Get on up, get on up. Keep on moving, moving on, moving on, moving on up. A little bit higher, baby. Get on, get on, get on, get on, get on, get on, get on up, baby. All right. I keep on pushing, keep on pushing. Stepping lightly, Slim, slow slider, horsey ride, as white as snow. Slim, slow slider, horsey ride, as white as snow. Tell it everywhere you go. Saw you walking down by Ladbroke Grove this morning. Saw you walking down by Ladbroke Grove this morning. Catching pebbles for some sandy beach. You're out of reach. Saw you early this morning with your brand new boy and your Cadillac. Saw you early this morning with your brand new boy and your Cadillac. You're gone for something, and I know you won't be back. I know you're dying, baby, and I know you know it too. I know you're dying, and I know you know it too. Every time I see you, I just don't know what to do.
I mean, you hear how noisy that vinyl is, right? The noise sounds like it could be cleaned out, though. Sometimes you know when it's static, you know when it's a scratch, you know when it can be cleaned out. You can, after a while, you start recognizing the difference in sounds. So, I mean, I need to get another copy of this. I need to get a better copy of this. Yeah, I described this as a bubble LP and I never really thought about it. There are bubble LPs for me. Records that I like to listen to really by myself, and they put me in a certain mood, they make me contemplate. This is a bubble record. Veed and Fleece, that's first side. All of it, but that first side, it's a bubble record. Carole King, Tapestry. Absolute fucking bubble record. For me, Marillion, Misplaced Childhood, and Clutching at Straws. Bubble records, both of them. I listen to them by myself, and it's an experience that I appreciate so much, the solitude of myself with the record, that they occupy a certain category. I haven't really thought about that before today. Like in that manner. Obviously, I got bubble records since forever because now I'm starting to think of all the records that kind of like fall into that, you know? I mean, there's a bunch of them, you know? Billie Holiday to me, Lady in Satin. The Frank Sinatra Sad Bastard records, which is like Only the Lonely and In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning, those two especially. These are records that if I listen to them alone, they feel a certain way. They evoke certain things. And this record evokes all of that. I mean, so much so, like I said, just once, it's like, okay, I got to get another copy. You know, it's kind of remarkable. To me, it is. But, I mean, I couldn't have possibly come up with a better way of spending, well, both an afternoon, but just the activity of listening to this together. Yeah, Nina Simone, for sure. I completely I know what you're talking about with Nina Simone. Like the album Here Comes the Sun definitely does that for me. Listening to it, something like this, you know, it's funny because here we are. I didn't realize that there were so many fucking Christians, like deeply Christian folk here. Maybe that's what you like about the show, the cult-like atmosphere. You want a cult? Let me tell you about Christianity. But yeah, man, you guys were kind of like just having a lot of conversations about that. And I don't know. It's pretty funny because it makes me think, to me, what it is that we do here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is exactly that. It's like a communion of sorts. It's fucking awesome. There's a connectedness that happens when do these shows. And I really dig them, you know. I appreciate you guys. New folk, if you enjoyed your experience, I'm glad that you did. Please tune in on Wednesday and Friday where we're doing another two. Kanye West on Wednesday. And Billie Eilish, the new Billie Eilish record is arriving tomorrow. So we're going to give a full album spin on Friday and check out what that's all about. Can't wait for that one. New folks, become a patron. Now you know what it is that we do, right? I hope that you enjoyed your experience. And I would like to include you as part of the conversation and part of the community as well. Become a patron for as little as $2 or $5 a month. The rest of you, I was your vibe merchant. Did I do a good job? Tip me a few bucks. Makes a difference. It does. Now you all know I'm going to be back here tonight, so in just over 4 hours, meet me here, and we're going to do what episode are we on now, Polam? 508? Yeah, man. 508. A lot of straight episodes. The grind continues.